right, baby. It is that time. You guys already heard the intro music, and we got a Big 12 special for you tonight. Obviously, my Buffaloes are playing, and they're struggling right now, but we're going to get into that a little bit later because we got a great show lined up for you guys. So if you're joining us for the first time, you guys, I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. To the far right, you see my boy from St. Louis. That's Rock Chalk, none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
Yeah, what's going on? We got another great guest. Hey, boy, y'all better pick it up, boys. Y'all, come on, Prime. Y'all better show up. I told you. We gonna touch on it later on in the show, man. I told you North Dakota State, man. They like Boise State, man. They some giant killers, man. They will show up. So we gonna touch on that later on.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But the first thing we got to get to, you guys, is the gentleman that is in the middle of the screen. This is a dog, you guys. Once again, Big 12 Conference salute. This is somebody that was doing major damage out there at the wide receiver spot. He went on, you guys. So he should have almost probably won the Politnikov, but he went on to be a first-round draft pick of the Baltimore Ravens, does amazing things in the community, entrepreneur, big-time guest tonight, and that is none other than the great Mark Clayton. What's going on, Mark?
What up, Coach?
Hey, man.
What's
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Oh, no, we're pumped up to have you on, man. And I know there's football on, so we ain't going to keep you too long. I got to go send some positive vibes, to
They
my
need
boys.
some.
So let's get into it, you guys. I know. Let's get into it. Once again, we've got the great Mark Clayton on, you guys. This is somebody rather be on a podcast with him than on the field trying to cover this gentleman. Was a great player, you guys, originally out of Texas. So we're going to get into how he got to Oklahoma. But we are excited to have this gentleman on and let him share some value and some game with us. So let's get right into it, Mark. You're originally from Texas. Usually those lines don't cross, and Oklahoma kind of came across the border and stole you away. So I know there's a story there. How did somebody from Texas end up in Oklahoma?
Man, you know, the majority of our roster was Texas guys, but I was actually born in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And I grew up in the city till 5th grade. And so we moved to, my mom then moved first, and then I came after, but I was a 5th grader when I got here to Texas and went to Morton Elementary, Workman Junior High, and Sam Houston High School. And then that's when, BV came in and, he hit me with the, let's go, MC. And I was gone.
One heck of a recruiter. Did Texas also offer you, or did Texas not recruit you?
Texas they didn't recruit me. I didn't get any Texas letters at all, which was okay with me because at that time I didn't want to stay in Texas. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
The schools that I was originally looking at were all like engineering schools, and so we had Purdue, Georgia Tech, Stanford, Vanderbilt.
Okay.
My coach. Yeah, my coach was really dope, man. He knew his guys and made sure that he talked to schools that were going to be a good fit for all of his kids. So I wanted to be an engineer, and so he made sure that all the engineering schools came through.
That's what's up.
Amazing. That's probably
dope,
how
man.
you got into the headphones, the live audio. So,
Man, fast forward.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Smart move right there, you guys. Once again, thinking long term. This man was thinking long term and wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to get on to the next question because you actually redshirted. And I know redshirting's a little bit different nowadays. Guys can actually play in 4 games anytime during the season. For those that don't know, a redshirt is when a young freshman typically plays mostly just on the practice squad. He may play in a couple games, but he gets to keep that year of eligibility and then come back next year as a redshirt freshman. So, when somebody redshirts, typically that means you don't necessarily know how it's going to go. If somebody's a 4 or 5 star right out the gates, they're playing, you're thinking they're hot. But red shirt, you never know. You went from red shirt to superstar. Did you always feel like you were going to be at that level, or did you struggle a little bit your freshman year?
No, bro. I didn't even expect to go to college. I was
Wow.
I was like, I thought I was going to end up going to the military. I was going to go to the Air Force, and then I wanted to do architecture, and then I wanted to fly planes. I was in high school, I was a quarterback, a third string quarterback who would play JV and then suit out in varsity. The only reason I got to play varsity because the two starters got hurt. I had to play. We played DeSoto. I want to say it was late in the season.
Dang.
It was like 30-0. And they were like, hey man, we think we're gonna, switch your position and put B. Haas, who went on scholarship to TCU. He got healthy, and so he was back at quarterback, and they moved me to wide receiver. And so I played one game my junior year, or I think one and a half. Anyway, I had like one catch or something. And then that spring was 7-on-7. And then I went off like at the tournament down to Texas A&M. And then I got a letter from A&M. And then from there, it just kept coming. My first offer was Purdue over the summer. And then the first like scrimmage game that we had I had like 3 touchdowns. And then it just went like crazy. But no, bro, before my senior year, my junior year, I was planning on going to the service and being in the Air Force.
Wow, that's crazy right there.
Yeah.
Somebody that ends up being a first round draft pick almost didn't even play college football. Q, I redshirted in Colorado. Did you redshirt at Kansas?
Yeah, I ended up redshirting, man. Mine was a little bit different because I was coming in late from baseball and everything. And I needed.
You was a real athlete.
I needed to knock some rust off, so I was cool with that. I was cool.
So what's let me ask you. You needed it? Let me ask you your opinion, Mark. If a kid is coming out today, do you think that they need to get on the field right away? I mean, to ward off the transfer portal and everything else, or do you think that they need to still develop and take some time?
It's relative. I mean, there's no one journey, as y'all know. Everybody's different. The development of different guys is different. Some guys are, ready to go day one, and some guys, you hope that you're getting somebody that's, pretty far along or whatnot. But chances are there's going to be a number of guys that need to redshirt and develop, which is okay. is okay. There's more than one way to get to where you're going, and in most cases, you're not going to the league anyway. So it's also an opportunity for you to spend time looking at things outside of football because you got time as a redshirt. But
I love it, man.
I think a red shirt is definitely necessary for some, certainly not all. But again, there's no one path to the league, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. You guys, no one path to the league. And literally, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, you guys, everybody on this podcast right now redshirted. And we all had decent success. I mean, he had extraordinary success. So you guys don't get flustered. Don't get down on yourself if you don't play right away. Guys like Johnny Manziel, greats like the Peter Warwicks of the world, are guys who redshirted. So you guys keep that in mind. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and thank you for joining us. We've got the great Mark Clayton with us. I see some people already coming in talking about young superstars, the great Sadite Green. Hello, coaches, all is well. Glad to see you on the show. Moving forward, blessings from Sadite Sr. So that's Senior. What's going on, Dad? His son, Mark, is going to be playing for UNLV. Cornerback here shortly. So, he's doing his thing. And we've got the great Jimmy Rucker, as always. Love you, Jimmy, saying another story about staying ready because you never know when your number's going to be called. You got that right. You got that right, Jimmy.
Attitude, man. That's huge. I have a 16-year-old now, and he's at Keller and had, to go through some of his own adversity. It's only his third year playing football, actually, which I love because, he's like, every day, hey, can we go? Hey, can we go? Like,
he not burned out though. That's why.
Exactly.
That was the key.
Oh,
he not burned out.
He got a ton of upside, man. And
nice.
And he's getting
That's what's up.
Attitude. He's working back in now with the team, and he has to work on scout team. I'm like, bro, be a scout team All-American. Take advantage of every opportunity you get to step on the field and show whatever it is that you can do.
Amazing right there. So another Clayton coming down the pike, you guys. Can't wait. But We're going to get on to our next topic, you guys, and this one is a good one for the team tonight because everybody's Big 12, and I grew up in a day, we'll start with you, Q. I grew up in a day and age,
Ooh, I
part
know
of the
that.
reason why I went to Colorado was because the
Okay.
Big 12, dude, the Big 12 was so deep. And now when you look at the Power 4 conferences, used to be Power 5, but you're looking at Power 4, people kind of forget about the Big 12, you guys. It's usually the SEC and the Big 10 that everybody wants to talk about. I mean, and how could you deny it when you look at past national champions right here? I mean, the SEC has been dominating. So I want to throw it to you first, Guru. Because when we all played in the Big 12, it was the real deal.
Oh, it was a
It was
roughhouse.
it
Yeah.
was the top
The
conference.
premier
So
conference. Yeah.
how did the Big 12 lose it, man? And can you almost pinpoint maybe what was the key factor and why the
Absolutely.
SEC was trying to take everybody? Now Oklahoma and Texas are in the SEC.
It's the bread. It's the bread, man. Kids follow the coaches. I've always said that. A lot of the coaches, man, that were in the Big 12 in our era, man, all ended up in the SEC. And then on top of that, once they erected that SEC network and they were able to conjure up all that money to offer schools, it was like that's bringing in the coaches. Coaches are bringing in more 4 and 5-star kids, and it just went so on and so forth. And it's like that's the part where the Big 12 was still playing catch up, was because Texas was trying to leave a while ago. Because remember, Texas wanted their own network because they were looking at SEC like, well, hey man, we're getting exposure, and obviously we're Texas or whatever, but we want that type of money like these other schools in the SEC are getting because we're the equivalent, right? So that's the main thing is, man, it's about the bag. It's always about the network and the coaches bring more 4 and 5-star kids.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit, MC. I mean, when you were at Oklahoma, you guys were pretty dominant. You played the likes of Florida State, some other schools, USC. Did you ever feel like you were inferior talent-wise?
Absolutely not. I mean, playing, if anything, they had schools that were as good as schools in the Big 12 at that time. I was playing Alabama. It was the hype before the game had more, to do with their fan base being a really top-notch fan base than it was their program being this powerhouse program. Or at that time, us going in there and playing a powerhouse, it was like, man, we're supposed to go in here, we're gonna whoop. They might put up a good fight, but we're winning. And then when they came to our house, it was we winning. They're gonna put up a good fight, but there was no doubt that we wasn't winning those games back then versus SEC teams.
Yeah.
We lost.
So when you went to Oklahoma,
Uh-huh.
you knew when you went to Oklahoma, you knew you had a chance to win it all.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, going to Oklahoma, I was, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, super green. I was just happy to be there. But then, after having some off seasons with Smitty and being conditioned to know what it is to be a champion, winning a championship, my redshirt freshman year, and experiencing, all that from summer all the way through to the season. That changed my mentality, and so it helped me understand what it meant, to be a champion, and going to games as a team and understanding that you're dominant because you put the work in. And high school was fun; it was easy. I wasn't, I was back. That was easy. The college helped me kind of get a little bit. Actually, made me a lot more sharper in terms of my craft. I understood that more, which in turn helped me be a better teammate and knew going into the game that we were ridiculously dangerous because of the work that we all put in.
Yeah. I love it. To Q's point, Mark, the money. Obviously, Texas and Oklahoma have now went to the SEC. Do you think it's over for the Big 12 as far as ever being on top?
I do. I think it's SEC and it's Big 10. Okay. Period.
All right, you guys. So right there, and we've already seen the shift. Unfortunately, we lost the Pac-12, which hurt a lot of West Coast kids because now you're playing games outside of your region. But This is the evolution of sports. And to Q's point, it's about the money. And the SEC and the Big Ten got to the bag first. So there you guys go. And we played in a different day and age. So it's unfortunate to see that happen. We're going on to our next topic, you guys. And this is a good one. And I'm glad you brought up your son because, and you mentioned that he's only played 3 years. So I'll start off with you, Guru. I know you got little ones too, but when is the right time, man? This is a physical sport. Obviously, right. You want to. It's a skill sport, so you want to get some skills before it's money time. But tell me, Guru, when is the right time to get a young lad out there on the football field?
I mean, it's gonna kind of me personally. I like the kind of what Mark was explaining with his own son, man. I'm not against Pop Warner, but I was I can't remember if it was you. I was speaking with a friend of mine the other day, about a week ago, and I was like, think about this, right? Say like you're a dad, because a lot of times dads are Pop Warner. A lot of dads always want their kid with the ball in their hand, right? So say, for example, your kid's a running back, right? Nice with the ball, like this kid right here, right? Nice with it, scoring touchdowns, yay, little Timmy. Do you realize if a kid starts at, say, 7 or 8 years old, all the way through junior high, all the way through high school, all the way through college, and Lord willing, he gets to the league, do you realize, just for example, at running back, how many damn carries that is? And in your life, like, kids get burned out, man. You're talking, especially if you're a baller. So you're talking about, I'm in the league, I'm a rookie, and I probably in my lifetime had 3,000, 4,000 carries. Like you like these kids can get burned out, man. And it's something about this era is we get like, I'm so tired of seeing just the football specialization. Our age group, man, it was something about, and I'll always be biased, but it was something about, we were multi-sport athletes. I'm talking about outside of track, whether you were a hooper or you played baseball or whatever it was we played other sports for the most part to develop us, to have us end up being better football players. But now it's just football. In other sports, your kid has to take a break from all that pounding, and then other sports will develop other type of movements and motor skills for them to ultimately be a better player. But it can't just be football from 6, 7 years old all the way through college, and if they get a shot at the league, man, that's too much pounding. Yeah, they'll be burnt out by the time they're a sophomore in high school. They'll be done.
Was that intentional for your son to start later, or was that just he didn't like the sport or something?
Partly, yeah. Well, he lived with his mom in Florida, okay. and he early. I was like, I'm not in. Like, he don't have to play football. I have no. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? If he's gonna play, I want him to ask me. Like, and I felt like as he got older, his buddies would be playing. He played soccer. A little bit of basketball here and there, and and I was like, there's gonna come a day when his buddies are playing, he's gonna say like, can I play football? And that literally happened, and that was 3 years ago, and so here we are. But I mean, I didn't care what he did, just that he found something he was passionate about, and he did that.
Mm-hmm.
So if he would have came to you at 6, if he would have came to you at 7, said, Dad, I got to get on the field, are you thumbs up with that?
We would have went out there. Like, I would have took him out there if he really wanted to do it. I would have been like, I'm with that. But I mean, similar to what Q's saying, like, I agree. Like, he was playing soccer at the time. Football would have been something else that he would have did. Track would have been something that he would have been doing. Yeah. Basketball, definitely something that you're going to be doing. Maybe even baseball. But if we're getting into these sports, part of getting into this is that you're going to try other stuff. Period. You just are. Because I mean, if we're going down that road, I just believe, myself, I can hit a baseball, I can catch a baseball. I didn't even play baseball. I can run track. You know what I'm saying? I could play basketball. I had to cross over, all that. and pickleball. I mean, the sport, it goes on and on and on, and that made playing football easy. Which I tell him, you play soccer, and you've done a couple other things. You got good hand-eye coordination. Football is going to come. And
there you go. There you go.
Football, bro. People. There was the debate with the NBA guy, and I forgot who it was, and the NFL guy talking about
Austin Rivers.
Yeah, Tom. I can take guys who play football, or we can take these guys from football and go into basketball. I honestly apart from the physicality, just the game itself, it is easier to go and play some football versus going and playing basketball and picking up an actual skill that has its touch and feel. That has to be developed over time. I think somebody who has a skill and understands touch and feel and has kind of this grace or fluidness to them would pick up football, and they just would, like my son has. Like he's good, but you just can, because it's something that is more a mentality, especially defensively. You don't have to have an additional ball that if you're running with the ball, yes, but a lot of the game is played without the ball in your hands, which allows you to just go. There's an IQ that has to happen, that you have to play it, and really play it at a high level. But I think that can be taught. An IQ about a game can be taught more than a skill, like having to learn the actual skill and touch.
So what you're saying is, if I start basketball later, I'm gonna be further behind than if I start football.
It ain't gonna be close.
Yeah,
okay.
I can agree. I can agree. Well, I mean, you look at it, and I make these inferences all the time. I mean, I know, he's been, a lot of injuries the last couple of years. But Odell, if you look at him when he was young, when he was look at how he was coming in and out of his routes. He played soccer his whole life. Same thing with Chad. Ocho played soccer his whole life. So football is a joke. If you're playing a sport where you have complete control of your feet, football is nothing.
It's easy. It's cake. It's cake.
We can put pads on Messi right now. Dude, we can pull Messi right now and make Messi a wide receiver right now.
Man,
if he's ready for it here.
Yes, because he's the best soccer player in the world, and he has ultimate control of his feet.
Yep.
Your feet are everything in any sport. So if you have complete control of your feet, everything else is easy.
It is. You're gonna and then this mentality. But I agree 1,000%, my guy.
I love it right there, you guys. So right there, you guys are getting a hack. And I know there's some parents that listen to our show. So if you're debating on whether or not to put your young one out there, this is two people that have lived it, you guys, and they're saying you don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. So thank you guys for sharing that with us. We're on and we're zipping through this show. We're going to get you back to some football. This is the halftime hors d'oeuvre for you right now. We got the great Mark Clayton, superstar at Oklahoma, and then went on to the NFL. You guys play with some ballers, play with somebody. He was a baller. So you guys get on to the next, and this is real time, Q, and we've already talked about this, but I'm very interested to hear your opinion, MC. But we have a dual star at my alma mater, and I think he's critical to not only wins and losses, but also the success of Shedeur Sanders. So talk to me, MC, because he's worth some money. This is the type of athlete that may be able to sign $100 million type contract one day. So whose responsibility is it to keep him safe? I know they got to use him on both sides, but whose responsibility is this? Coach Prime's, or is it Travis's responsibility to keep him safe to get to the bag?
It's collective. Travis got to be honest with what's going on with his body, because young, you want to be in and play everything, and he is incredible. And I'm sure he wants to show it as much as he possibly can. But then it's also on the coaches to just know, like, that's not possible. Like you're not going to be full time on both sides of the ball. I'm sorry, especially in the league. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nah,
Right.
come on.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I mean, in college, I get it, but it's both. You know, it's a working relationship. It's communication.
Yeah.
So if my money is kind of tied, I think his money's tied to cornerback. Um, do you think they should be limiting him on how much he's playing on offense, or do you think that it should just be a kind of a game by game basis?
Oh, it's definitely game by game. He's so special, man. It's you know, what do we need? Win, and I'm there. You know, I
Yeah.
just, you know, remember, you know, Ed Reed was a punt returner, you know, in Baltimore, and that was just an aspect of it that was like, for me, seeing somebody who would normally be a punt returner. Safeties are not normally punt returners,
Yeah.
but you know, like, bro, he'll go back there if we needed something at a critical time. But yeah, and I didn't play with Champ Bailey, but played against him. Was exceptional. He touched, you know, offense here and there, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't
Yeah. All
necessary. Yeah.
Series is series. Yeah. I feel you.
But
Talk to me, Q. I mean,
yeah.
we had a conversation about this yesterday, man. Um, he's worth a lot of money, but Shador could possibly be the number one quarterback chosen.
Right.
You believe the two are tied. So at the end of the day, what do you think we end up seeing this year?
Man, I'm not deterred from what I was saying, man. Like, Shador is a great quarterback, man. He's got the intangibles, he's got the IQ, but this kid right here, man, he's gotta have him, man. And again, it's
Already
no,
has a
I'm not.
touchdown today.
Right, exactly. But it's like, man, I'm not trying to take anything away again from from Colorado's wide receiver room. I know they got a talented room, but as I said, they're not Travis Hunter. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about a kid where, like, I mean, tell him, MC, a kid like that, man, you done threw him 2 hitches and he got 120 yards off of 2 catches. He's
Right.
that type of guy. You know, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
That
He's
is so friendly
He's
to the organization, period.
Right. He's that type of guy. But
but that's not where his money at.
Right, well, true enough. So I don't understand why they're not looking at it like, look, you're starting at corner, right? We know what the scouts want to see you at. We know what that you're looking to be graded at, right? And we'll put in packages here and there, a couple of reverses, maybe a nice little fade or a post, off of something like that. You put together packages like that, yeah. But other than that, you're playing on D, and that's it. Maybe return a couple punts, like you said, 9, and that's it.
But he's gonna have package in the NFL,
right? But you're talking about, man, this kid is gonna be out here, man, 70, 80 snaps, 90 snaps. Even in college, you can't. That's not sustainable, man. The season is too long. You can't do it. Nobody could do that. Champ couldn't do it. Woodson couldn't do it. Patrick Peterson couldn't do it. Nobody can.
Prime couldn't do it.
Prime couldn't do it. Right.
MC, do you believe that he has top? Do you believe?
Right.
Do you believe, MC, that he has top 10 level potential if he stays healthy?
Travis?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, that kid is. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen. I haven't seen it up close and personal, but I've seen enough to know his level of awareness is off the charts.
Yeah.
He gets into the NFL and gets with a coach, coordinator, or another veteran safety corner, and they're like, and pouring into him, which I'm sure he's already getting poured into like that, because his level of understanding of the game is, bro, it's that's. That alone, not even taking into to consideration his physical ability, but I'm just watching some of the plays that he makes that are all feel and IQ and instinct. The guys seen the guys I've loved to watch to do that. They were both in our division. It was Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu.
Yeah,
they were the most
IQ stupid.
Period. Like ever.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing it at for him at this level right now, and I know he has room to grow, because that's one thing for kids and everybody out there. You can always grow. Like you can always grow in your understanding of the game, your understanding of another team, your understanding of offense or their defense or their offense, whatever it is. That you can always spend time in growing that. But he has a lot of upside when it comes to that alone.
Yeah.
Not to mention his physical ability.
Yeah, I agree.
No, definitely a fun player to watch. Go ahead.
I was about to say, to piggyback off of what Nine was just saying, man. I mean, it's one of those things where, as I mentioned before, but we don't want to see him end up like Devin Hester with all this ability, but because he's bouncing back and forth, he never gets a chance to hone in on his craft. You have to pick a side and then really zero in. If he is going to be a receiver, great. Get with a Mark Clayton, a veteran, and work with a guy like Nine in the offseason that's been there, done that, and perfect the craft of being a receiver. But you got to pick a side, man, so that way you can hone in and get better, man, and really dig in and get ready
reps
for the league. Yes, you have to. You can't bounce back and forth because, it's like you're off of ability. We see that, but it's like it's going to be harder for them to grade him. And it's just going to be harder for him when he gets in the league. Like, well, what exactly do I do? Because like MC said, you can't do this in the league, bro. You're going to have to pick a side, right? Okay. So he needs to perfect his craft, and he's not given an opportunity to.
Yeah, no, this is going to be interesting. And you guys, obviously, this is real time. So it's playing out tonight. It will play out the rest of the season. But thank you guys for sharing your sentiments. Obviously, a special player, special situation with the champs and the Charles Woodsons. It's easy to limit those guys on offense if I'm Greg, Coach Lloyd, or whoever Georgia's coach was at the time, because my son isn't the quarterback trying to be the number one overall pick. So it's a little bit easier to be sparing with Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, those type of guys, because I know that they got to make their money on defense. With this guy, I know his money's on defense, but my kid's money was with him on the field on offense. So very interesting, you guys.
2 hitches.
2 hitches. Give him 2 hitches.
All 90 routes, man.
Everybody happy. There you go. So we got a couple more segments, you guys, and we're out of here. We're going to let Mark get back to his beautiful family, and we're going to get to some football. But with this one, we usually do the lightning round, you guys. We didn't know if we were going to be able to get Mark in here, so we tweaked it a little bit. So we're going to go a little bit of team totals. Total. So, you got about 30 seconds, brother. This is your schedule. How are the Sooners gonna do? And let's have a little fun with it. Whoever's the furthest away, because I got all 3 schedules.
Okay.
Whoever's the furthest away, we got 2 sets of 50 push-ups. So 100 push-ups. You gotta. So whoever's the furthest away at the end of the season got some push-ups. So give it to me, Nine. What's the Sooners looking like?
Man, I got us sitting at 9. Is it 10? 9 or 10?
And we said hopefully everybody stays healthy.
9-3.
9-3. Okay, I'm writing it down. So we got the OU Sooners, Boomer Sooner at 9-3, according to the great Mark Clayton. Guru, you up next, baby.
I got us 11-1 all day.
Whoa, okay. So
I mean, we the Big 12. We the Big 12 favorite. We the Big 12 favorite.
They can do it.
Okay. So
Big 12 favorite right now. Yeah. Our game of the year is gonna be that at K-State. That's gonna be the game of the year. Well, no, because we don't have Utah. We'll see them in the SIP though. We'll see them in the Big 12 championship though.
I thought that was you.
You got lucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Don. If you look at it, man, we beat K-State, man, we good. I got us 11-1 at worst case scenario.
Very favorable. So now let's go to the Buffalo. Hold on, let me check the score real quick. Oh, we up. Okay. So I'm gonna give the first one to us. And then let's go. We're gonna take that one.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say 7-5. I'm gonna say 7-5. So we right there. We might get a little, Utah's gonna be tough, and y'all.
Hey, Coach, I was looking at that last stretch, boy. You at Lubbock, Utah, Y'all gotta see us at Arrowhead
We gotta go
and
see my boy.
Oklahoma State. Boy, that's a nasty stretch.
Yeah, we gotta
boy.
get out quick. We gotta get out quick, baby. We gotta get out quick. So, all right, you guys heard it right here. Locker room crap. You heard it because somebody doing some
50,
push-ups. Somebody gonna be a little far off.
Hey, tell
So,
him now. You
we
saw
got the
that's a
great
nasty
and it,
stretch, boy.
you laughing. It may be you because you said 11-1. So we
did.
got the great Mark Clayton with 9-3. Very solid, very solid. Going to a New Year's Day bowl.
Yeah.
Maybe sneaking into the playoffs. We got
Yep.
KU going to the playoffs. According to Guru, and we just trying to get a little bowl action. We just trying to get a little bowl action 7-5. So we gonna see who ends up doing some push-ups at the end of the season. But we're on to our last topic, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Great Mark Clayton, super phenomenal wide receiver, you guys at OU, and then went on to the Baltimore Ravens. If you have a question, the comment section is live and open. But Guru, I know you got a question for the great Mark Clayton.
Definitely. I mean, my question for this evening is just paint a picture for us, man. You know, man, you're a redshirt freshman, you coming in. You know, man, you learning so much, man. Just give us that feeling, man. You know, being, you know, in Norman and just, man, that game day field. You got the bars on the damn sideline, man. Like, it's electric, man. Obviously, it was always hard, man, coming in there playing, y'all. But being a freshman, man, just paint a picture for us, man, what that was like.
Man. It was so the what made it so amazing was I don't think nobody expected us to win a national championship my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were 20. We started off at 20.
Right.
So it was, you know, being in that, you know, those practices. Smitty came in with Coach Stoops, and they weeded out anybody that wasn't with it was out, and they made sure they bust our ass, bro. Like they, you know, they can't even do these kind of workouts nowadays.
Right.
But bro, like it was crazy to have that kind of work, and then over the summer, and then going to camp and grind it 2 days. Like what we did was
savage.
I don't even know how we did that, bro. Like, come on, bro. It's like we go into the season. You know, we pick up our first, you know, wins versus, you know, the direction schools and stat games. Like, all right, bet. And then as we start to get into the meat of the conference, and then get to OU Texas, and then down the stretch, that row of, you know, Nebraska, K-State, and A&M, and bro, it was amazing week in, week out as a, you know, a red shirt to watch and be able to basically party on campus. That was great. So all the upsets, they were all upsets, you know, until late we kind of established our ranking, but a lot of our major wins were upsets. I you know, at the game, Nebraska, we upset and everybody storms the field. I don't think Norman's ever been stormed before, or certainly not since then. Everybody storms the field. They tear the goalpost down. They take it, they dump it in the duck pond. Unique college experience if you've ever had it.
Yeah,
that was one you will never ever forget when the field got stormed, the goalpost got tore down. Because of that. To have that experience out of Oklahoma, who today typically are the team that, you know, for us, we were the team that people were looking to upset, and so man, to go from kind of that shift from being just Oklahoma that had fell off and what they were, to back being the championship caliber team year in, year out, number one, top 3, year in, year out. You know, we're Rose Bowl, Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Like, that was incredible. And then to have that older group, you know, come from the other coaching staff, and then they stuck around, and a lot of the guys changed positions. A lot of DBs were receivers, and receivers went to DB, and they just made it work. And but to have kind of that group that was able to be, you know, really like just a Swiss Army knife, and whatever they needed at that time to build this organization or build this team to go on and win the national championship, and then continue to be excellent year after year was. I mean, it was amazing. When you're in it, you don't. you just in it. You just work,
Yeah.
grind.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your 5:45, and your freshman. We got to get there 5:45. Then you got to go to class. Then you come lunch. You're back for film. Then you're out for practice. Then you got training.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just doing your thing. But hindsight, looking back at it, was like, man, we were a part of a shift, like a complete and utter shift in the culture of a university.
Yeah, like y'all brought Oklahoma back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
y'all brought Oklahoma back from the Switzer days.
Right.
Yeah.
From Swiss days.
I feel you.
And it was hindsight, obviously it's special, but I can remember just having so many good times and just the boys, and we're just doing stupid shit at the same time, but then also working, like putting that work, accountable and getting after it and competing, like it was.
Mark, when did you know? Not to cut you off, but when did it? Because it sounds like you were just a phenomenal athlete, and then mentally everything started to click for you. When did you realize that I've got NFL potential? Was it a game? Was it a practice? What was it where you were like, "Ooh, I'm looking at the league
I can
now.
do some damage out here." Yeah,
man, it was it was the summer going into my junior year when none of the DBs could hold me. Like none of the DBs could hold me. Like none. Like it didn't matter who was it. Like none of them.
Cooking everybody.
Everybody. Like, and it was just clockwork. Everything was.
And that was the big year.
That was my big year.
1,200, 1,400.
Yeah, like something like up there, and Blitnikoff finalists. But it was like before that, all the year or the work. It was just I was just doing it, and I just so you know, when I got to Oklahoma, I was only 148, 149. I ran 4.7 40. I could not lift 135. I was just quick. I was twitchy. I was a basketball player who was playing football, so I knew how to cross over really good and cut back. And so that made me elusive and hard to guard. But when I got stronger and then I got faster, and I got up to about 178, 180, it was like the game changed. And then one of the guys challenged me. Is like, bro, you don't take this serious. Like you play around too much. Like, bro, if you took this shit serious, like it'd be a whole nother ball game. And for whatever reason, it stuck. And going into my junior year, it was on. Like it was on.
Wow.
And week in, week out was, bro, just sending my way. And I wasn't a talker. I didn't celebrate nothing. I was a machine, and I was that like a Ginsu blade.
I remember.
Whoever, then whatever.
So
when we
let me ask you this, because I know you got the little ones, but this one just popped in my head, and this one I think is big too. You're a big time superstar wideout, Biletnikoff level wideout. What's the dialogue like with the quarterback or even the OC as far as making sure I get the damn ball? Like, did you ever have an issue like, hey, where you had to speak up? Or was it just understood? Did they come to you before the game, say, look, we're going to get you this is the package? Like, what is it like to be, I'm not going to say prima donna because you were never that, but what is it like to be the fucking man at wide receiver, but I need my touches? Like, is that talked about or does it just happen?
It's both. In the league in Baltimore, I should have talked about it, I think. I would say I was just, in college, it was just, everything was just like, you're the guy. You just knew. Everybody knew. And so week in, week out, I never had to say anything. I just knew what plays were mine, and I knew they were going to work. And then for a moment, actually, Pat Shermer, OC right now. He was with the Rams. And when I got there, I got traded there my 5th year in the league. And first week I got traded. I got there on a Tuesday. He was like, man, you think you know the playbook by Wednesday in practice? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Show up Wednesday, I knew enough to practice. By the time Sunday came around, I knew the game plan. He's like, all right, we're gonna roll. He's like, I got you. I'm gonna feed you. I was like, okay, like let's get it. First game, I had like 10 catches. I don't even know I don't remember how many times the ball. I mean, it had to come obviously at least that, but 10 catches, 100 whatever yards, and that it reminded me of college, and I felt like a kid
Who
again.
you were.
Yeah, like here we go. It's coming. If it's coming, I got you. You don't gotta worry about it at all. And so that was fun to have that experience. But then in Baltimore, it was different because that dynamic, that scheme was we're not a pass heavy.
More of a run. Yeah,
Willis McGahee.
We grinded out. We had Willis, LaRon McClain, Jamal Lewis before that, Chester Taylor, those guys, and it was. And I enjoyed that experience. Baltimore is to me like the best organization in the NFL.
Yeah, but you want that rock though.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there I would have needed to say something to get that. I had to go into the office and say something, and I did. To get the rock thrown my way. And there was a couple of times where they did, and they were like, "Oh, there you go, great game." And I'm like, "Bro, that is cake." Like what?
Yeah, like
I could do that every week, like straight up. And it was what it was. But it's all relative, depending on the situation and circumstance when you need to bark or somebody barking for you.
Yeah.
I love it, man. And that's big for you young athletes to know. Before I let you out, man, you got to get us. We two cornerbacks here. Best cornerback that you ever went against. Who would you give that award to?
Well, he was there with McAllister, wasn't he?
Yeah. Chris was crazy. But on another team, a young Darrell Revis.
Yeah.
That kid was special. He was extremely patient for especially young. Like it was crazy. And then obviously, we know the career he had, but he was ridiculously patient and just had a great feel at corner. It was special. It was special. Wow. And then, I'd put Champ Bailey in there, but Revis.
Wow.
Nice.
All right,
Man.
you guys.
Okay.
So, hey, Revis right there. But, hey, this is why we wanted to have the great Mark Clayton in tonight,
Definitely.
you guys, because he gave us a ton of value. He doing daddy daycare and serving you guys. So we appreciate you, Nine. We love you, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you, boys. Appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, definitely, man. Anytime, bro.
All right, you guys. So, hey, that is the great Boomer Sooner, legendary Oklahoma Sooner wide receiver, man. We both seen him.
Yeah, now it was nice, man. He was nice.
Yeah,
he
real
was nice.
deal.
He was out there cooking boys, man.
I had no idea that he almost didn't play, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what we love about, man, our guests is because, man, you getting the inside raw story, of the backstory, of a lot of people, that familiar faces like Mark Clayton and Corey Dillon, and you're getting the backstory on this show of their life, man, and and how things ended up playing out. For them, and sometimes in interesting ways. So that was definitely a cool story.
Did you ever have that talk, man, that he talked about where somebody had come to you and said, look, if you really take this serious, you can be on a whole nother level. Did anybody ever, a coach or a player ever come to you and say that?
Yeah. Matter of fact.
Did you take their advice or did you stay the same?
No. I took their advice. Matter of fact, it was towards the end of my junior year, and I got approached by Coach Stoops, by Mike Stoops, who is still, that was when they, like him and his brother, obviously, and Coach Mangino, they were all still with Coach Snyder at K-State. That, and I think back all the time, like that was a hell of a staff, man.
Yeah.
That was like you had Coach Snyder, Coach Mangino, and both of the Stoops brothers on your staff. All of them. That's a hell of a staff, right?
We had a great staff too, man.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you guys did.
We had Vance Joseph. We had guys that were NFL head coaches.
Yeah,
and stuff.
absolutely. But
it
was towards
go
ahead. No, I was about to say it was towards the end of my year, and I think I had about at the time like 9 or 10 picks. And Coach Stoops is like, look, dude, like, I know, because I hadn't played a lot of football either. I played soccer and I played, obviously a ton of baseball. But he was like, you take this serious. He was like, you get like this all conference, all state, like like a D1, you could really be a great player, you know, and do some damage on the next level, man.
Oh, so
I
you were
just took
still in high school.
I was still in high school. Yeah.
Okay.
I was still in
All right.
high school, man, you know.
All right.
So yeah,
All right.
dude.
Yeah, so you young players out there, man, somebody take the time to pull you aside and say, look, you got something. Take them serious, man, especially if they've done something in their life. Take them serious. Take your game to the next level. So we appreciate you joining us. We're going to get on back to these games every single Thursday. It's the season now, Q. So we every single Thursday, we're going to have something to talk about, baby. And another great guest.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey, I wish all boys luck. Man, matter of fact, what's the score? We got to get a count before we get out of here. I think I know Kansas was up 34-0. I'm not worried about that game. What y'all looking like over there in Boulder, man?
Oh, wow. You guys up there playing College of the Canyons, 34-0. We got 24-20 Buffs, 24-20, fourth quarter, about to start, baby.
Okay, it's a ball game there. It's a ball game. We gonna see. We'll be back
talk next week about it.
Right.
All right. We love y'all. See you.